Good afternoon, sixth grade. We're winding down week 2. One more day to go. Hey, Alex, what's going on? This should be the last day that we review for the test. I was able to finish the last few questions with the other group. So I'm assuming we'll be able to do the same. And then tomorrow we'll get started testing. Okay, and I'll give you some details about what that's going to look like. We're going to start with a warm-up, and then we're going to finish our review first. So the warm-up today, we get a little closer. The warm-up today, you have a lot to write there because you have 2 double number lines. What's up, Yobani? Good to see you, man. We're on day 3 of test review. Hello, Jaden. I'm glad you guys are here. It's a very important day. Not that the other days aren't important, but we do need to wrap up our unit review so we can finish our book and move on. So in our warm-up, we're looking at 2 different trains, train A and train B. And the information is given to us via double number lines, not words. So you have to interpret the double number lines, come to your own conclusions, and then find a way to figure out which train is moving faster. So I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds to copy that down, and then I'm going to move to the big board and put the double number lines there so that I can hear your thoughts. I'm going to want to hear your strategies. I'm going to want to hear which train do you think is going faster. And I'm going to want you to back it up with the calculations that you use. Hi, Emily. Okay, I'm going to move to the big board and I'm going to copy down the double number lines. While I'm doing that, I need you guys to give me your ideas and what you think is the correct answer. Which train is moving faster, B or A, and how do you know? What did you do? The distance, if you didn't notice, was being measured in meters, and the time was being measured in seconds, which, depending on what you guys tell me for information, is pretty incredible. I'll put train B in a different color. Any ideas so far? I don't see anybody with ideas. Hey, Rosemary, how are you? It's really slow. I'm sorry. I wish there was something I could do about that. Like, I'm not really a technical person, so I don't have ideas. You know what I'm gonna suggest though? Maybe Mr. Ciencia is pretty good with stuff like that. Maybe when you have your social studies time and he asks if you guys have questions, just ask him, do you have any tips to make my Wi-Fi go a little faster? And maybe he has some tips because I'm not good with that stuff. Okay. We're doing the warm-up, Jaden. I'll show you guys the warm-up again, the agenda. We got 2 trains traveling at constant speeds, train A and train B. They give us information in the double number lines, and you have to decide which train is moving faster and why. And I want to hear what you guys are doing to figure it out. I'm going to take roll call while I wait for someone to answer. So far I have Alex, Giovanni, Jaden, Emily, Rosemary. Am I missing anybody else? What are our ideas here? What are our interpretations? Talk to me. Train B. Okay. Jaden thinks that it's train B. So then I need you to tell me what you did to get train B. All right, this is what Jaden thinks. What do you think, buddy? How'd you figure that out? So hopefully you guys notice that there's information missing, right, in the diagram. For example, for train B, they give you these 3, and this one is missing. And then for train A, they give you these 3, but this one is missing, right? So talk to me about what you're doing to figure this out. Rosemary agrees with Jaden. Okay, so now we have more people who are thinking it could be train B. I still need to hear about some strategies. Oh, Jaden is changing his mind. He says, no, wait, train A is faster. Okay. All right. So this means that we're not sure yet, which means you got to tell me what your strategies are and why. Okay, Rosemary is still convinced that it's train B. So can someone please tell me why they think it could be train A or B? Because the one on train B is equal to 25. Okay, Jaden thinks that the missing number here is 25. I need to know if you guys agree or disagree. Can we prove it?
if I skip count by 25s up here, is this correct? Skip count by 1s here. So is this correct right now? Skip counting by 25? Okay. So if this is true, let's interpret this. This would mean that train B is moving at 25 meters per second, because it's in seconds and it's for 1 second. What about this one? What about train A? We already have the unit rate, right? Or the constant rate. This one, hopefully you guys were able to read this okay. I'll get closer in case you can't. I want you to look very closely at that. In 1 second, how far is train A going? Train A is moving 12.5 meters per second. So in 1 set, the person, the train, not the person, the train that's moving faster is the one that in 1 second goes farther. So that's right. So that means that originally you guys were onto the right suspicion here, that train B is moving faster. Why? Because 25 is greater than 12.5. And why can we say that? We can say that because we both have each train, how far they went in 1 second. Under the 100 is an 8. That's, oh, for this one. Oh, nice job, buddy. Because 8 times 12.5 is 100. This problem is actually a lot more important than you might think. It is, you know how in movies and books you have foreshadowing? This problem is a prelude to a couple of things. First, in the next book, Unit 3, these double number lines will be important, and so will that number for different reasons that I'm not going to tell you, otherwise it's not a prelude or a foreshadowing, right? It's supposed to be a hint, or what do they call those? Easter eggs, like just something that you find, but you don't quite understand it yet. And then this is actually also important, and I forgot to mention this in the other class, is how you see it might seem like those zeros are useless. Yes, it's B, train B. But those zeros are going to be important when you're in 7th grade. All right, and so that's another foreshadowing. No problem. Okay, this means that we go to the review now. So would everybody please go to your Unit 2 test review document. We are on page 89 if you have the double edition, and page 65 if you have the single edition. We're going to be doing number 6, and it is a lesson 11 practice problem. Okay, let's take a look. This this is where everybody should be, either in your book or on the posting. I have the picture, or online, open up resources, Unit 2, Lesson 11, practice problem number 6. We got 3 parts. ABC, we're going to do all 3. And what are we looking for? What do we call this kind of math? Based on the question and the information that they're giving us. Well, you already know it's number 6, letter A. It says that the shopper bought the following items: 6 ears of corn for a total of $1. Losing my patience with myself in these mistakes. What was the cost per ear? So what kind of math are we looking for, and what is the clue in the information of the problem that tells you it? Alex is saying that if the answer is 30 cents. But listen closely to what I'm asking you. I'm asking you what kind of math it is first, right? I think it's great that you have the answer already, but I need people to start thinking about, okay, this is a problem, what kind of math it is, so that I know what strategies I could use. So if they're looking for cost per ear, I want you to tell me that this is unit price in math. And for unit prices, a couple of the things that we could use are double number lines and tables to start with. Why? Because we're comparing 2 quantities, which is also ratios. So we can use equivalent ratios. Number of ears is a discrete number, so it's just a counting number, but cost is being measured in the US dollar here. And it says that you can get 6 ears for $1.80. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ears. I can get that for $1.80, but I don't know how much one is, and that's what they want to know. What is the cost per ear? What is the cost for one? I'm looking for that answer. Alex, how did you get 30 cents? How do we get from 6 to 1? 6 divided by 6 is 1, which means if I want that 1, if I want the equivalent ratio that matches with the 1, I have to divide by 6 again. Oh, okay, you could do it that way too, Roosmelly. Divide by 6. $1.80 divided by 6 is what? Just like Alex said, it's 30 cents. Now, Alex, when you give your answer, I need an answer statement, and I need the number in the correct format. So, the cost for 1 ear of corn, and no, Miss Leggett's not being extra, this is the expectation. The cost for 1 ear of corn is, in US dollars, no dollars, and 30 cents. Boom. Cool. Okay, letter B. Well, you probably need to still see that, so let me not block. Letter B, is basically the same thing. They want to know the cost per apple. So we are still looking for a unit price, but this time it's apples, and 12 apples cost $2.88. So I don't think I have to erase everything, because this time it's still cost, but this time it's apples. I want cost per apple. This is $2.88. And 12 apples for $2.88 cost per apple. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They all have to match up. 12 apples cost $2.88. I want to know how much one costs. Okay, people are saying 24 cents. 24 cents. Let's see if it works. One times 12 will give me 12. And if we test your answer by multiplying 24 cents times 12, we should get $2.88. Is that correct, guys? Nice job. I know, because I divided $2.88 by 12. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so let's do our answer statement. The cost for one apple is no dollars and 24 cents. When you phrase it like this tells us that you know that we were looking, even though it said cost per apple, we know that you're interpreting it correctly. We know that you know we're looking for the cost for one apple. All right, letter C. Let's see what letter C wants. Letter C says that 5 tomatoes cost $3.10. So what was the cost per tomato? Cost per tomato, still on unit price. So all three of these were unit price. And that means the cost for one, now we're looking for the cost of one tomato. So I'm gonna keep, is there an E at the end? The cost for one tomato, oh no, in the book it says no E at the end, is, so we gotta get that. And what are we looking at here? 5 tomatoes. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. For letter C, I got 52 cents because I divided 310 by 5. Okay, we'll test it out. 5 tomatoes costs $3.10. $3.10. So Rusmeli is saying that we divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 will give us 1. So let's divide 310 by 5 and see if we get, what did you say? Rusmeli typed 52 cents, but Alex is typing 62 cents. All right, let's see which one is correct. $3.10, and I'm dividing by 5. 5 into 31 goes 6 times with 1 left over. 5 goes into 10 2 times, so 62 cents. Maybe that was just a typo, Rusmeli. The cost for 1 tomato is no dollars and 62 cents. Everything look correct? Okay, so excellent. This means that we're gonna move to the next problem in the review. The next problem in the review says that we are going to go to a lesson 15 practice problem. A lesson 15 practice problem number 3. Now, I actually want to go over something with you real quick. Remember when we were trying to discover who was going faster? And you can either have someone at the same distance, if the distances are the same, so like saying, you look at the time. So for example, if Edison went 1 mile, the other person went 1 mile, if this person did it in 7 minutes, and this person did it in 6 minutes, you're comparing the time to see who ran faster. This person ran faster. And you could do that because these are the same. Okay? Now, you could also compare if you kept the time the same. All right? If you kept time the same, let's say we both made them run for only 6 minutes. And maybe the same person, maybe this person went no. If I want to keep it the same information, let's say that this person did it in not even 1 mile, right? But this person went a mile. Well, this number is more. So in the same amount of time, this person ran faster, and it's because those stayed the same. Why is Ms. Leggett talking about distance and time when we're supposed to be talking about purple paint and white paint? I will tell you why. Because what does the question ask you? The question is asking you which one is lighter. They're not asking about speed. They're asking which color, even though they're both light purple, one of them has to be lighter than the other. What's also true, one of them has to be darker than the other. So why I did that is because I want you to understand what information you're looking for. We're going to do the same thing that we just did for distance and time, and we're going to compare it to our paint. So let's talk about, right, instead of who's faster, who's slower, let's talk about what shade is lighter versus darker. Well, if it's lighter, what has to happen? Lighter and darker. If it's going to be lighter or darker, and you can mix these up, okay? I don't want you to think you have to keep it where I put it. But let's pretend that I found out that for 1 cup of purple, maybe I find out that one is using 3 cups of white, but the other one is only using 2. Well, which one has the more white? The more white you add to the same purple, the lighter and lighter it becomes, right? So this one is lighter, and we were able to say that by looking at these because these are the same. The purple was kept constant, but we changed the white. And how did that affect the shade? This one is darker than this one, and you can say the opposite. You can say this one is whiter, or I think they call it converse, right? I'll confirm that with you. Like, what's also true with this? Well, we can also do this. We can also say, well, what if we keep the white the same? What if we said that for, let's do the 3 cups here. Let's say that for 3 cups of white, both times, 3 cups of white, you guys should be able to see that. For both 3 cups of white, maybe for this one, I used 1 cup of purple. But maybe for this one, I used 2 cups of purple. Well, which one is going to be darker? Which one's going to be lighter? As long as these two were kept the same, the one that has more purple is going to be darker. The one that has less purple is the one that's lighter. So when you, now this brings us back to the question, and I hope you don't think I'm dragging it out, but that is critical information. You have to think like that because it shows that you're making sense out of the situation. One of them has to be constant. You have to pick one. Either find the same for purple or find the same for white. Now, since this is learning, I can show you both, actually. We could go over both. I can very easily get this one, mixture B. I can very easily get this one to 5. And you guys know that. How do I do that? Well, 5 times 3 is 15. So what number times 3 is 8? And if that throws you off, you could always divide, right? Just be careful if they ask you for a factor, you have to give them a factor. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So what is 8 divided by 3? Well, 8 divided by 3 that's a 2 for 20 left over. 20 is going to keep repeating. So this is 2 2/3. 2 2/3. Now we have enough for our answer. But I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. And because for this one, what did I keep the same? For this one, I kept purple the same. So if I want to answer the question, which one is lighter, when I'm looking at this one, I have to decide which one has more white. Because my purple is the same. 5 cups of purple, 5 cups of purple. Which one is the same? Purple. So which one has more white? Well, this one has more white. If this one has more white, right, isn't 2 2/3 greater than 2? Then mixture B is the lighter one. But I told you, what if we made white the same? Well, from 2 to 8, I could very easily get 2 to 8, right? Can't I just multiply by 4? Okay, now this time, the white is the same. So the question here If we want to know which one is lighter, then we have to ask ourselves, well, which one has less purple in it? Because the white is the same. So if I'm looking for the lighter shade, which one has less purple? Well, when you compare 15 and 2, this is less, okay? 15 is less than 20. Therefore, again, it shows us that mixture B is the lighter shade. That was a doozy, right? And that one was, let's see, that was the last problem. If you have the review open right now, you'll see that that one matches with question number 7. Question number 7 is usually the last problem on the test, and it's usually one that counts pretty heavy and one that has you do more parts to the question and explain more. So that makes sense why we had to do that work and why we had to explain it that way. If you got lost at any of that, please watch the video again, because I did break it down, and I truly believe you could follow that without a problem. That was actually really good timing, because the stream is almost over, but if you guys have any questions, I will definitely take them. You guys are really, really quiet, which is not normal. You guys are usually a very active part of the lesson. So I'm going to shut up for a minute and make sure that I'm not talking over you guys, okay? I'm just going to be quiet for like 30 to 60 seconds and give you a chance to either ask a question or make some kind of conclusion or thought. I'm going to go over, I said I would be quiet. All right, I'll be quiet. I'll wait for roll call again. Okay, I think my minute is up, right? My minute of timeout is up. So I'm going to do roll call one more time. And then from there, I'll give you a little bit of an idea of what your test will look like, since this is remote learning. So I have Alex as attending, Giovanni, Jaden, Emily, and Rusmeli. If there's anybody's name who has attended and you didn't tell me, please say hi or present so that I write you down for attendance. Now, let's talk about what this test is going to look like, because I don't want you to worry. I don't want you to panic. And I know that not everybody is going to be on at the same time. So I'm going to try to accommodate us as much as possible. So first thing is first, the way that I'm going to do your test is that I'm going to have it on Edulastic, and I'm going to do it in 3 parts. And it's going to be 1 part per day. Hey, that sounds familiar, right? 1 part per day. That way you're not overwhelmed. So there should be approximately 2 questions. It's going to be anywhere from 1 to 3 questions per day, but the average is going to be 2 questions per day. That's what I'm trying to keep to. That way you have time to finish it during the stream, and then you don't have to worry about it again. You're not going to see your score because Ms. Leggett has to take the 3 parts and put it all together for the test, for your final score. And you all, like, we have to be as honest as possible, right? This is not in the classroom, so obviously I can't monitor it, but I'm going to trust you to not look things up. I'm going to trust you to do your best like you normally would in class. and to not share answers. All right, do you guys have any last questions for me? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to end the stream, and please study. If you missed any part of the test review, we reviewed today, which is Thursday, Wednesday, and Tuesday. So day 9, day 8, day 7. If you missed any reviews, please watch them so that you are fully prepared for this test. Okay? All right, guys, then I will see you tomorrow. Looks like at 11 a.m. On a Friday, I see you at 11 a.m. online, okay? You guys be safe, be good, and I will see you tomorrow.